Everyone expected the biggest serve in women's tennis to dominate the match. Instead, they witnessed something even more powerful: belief, preparation, and fearless tennis. One of the hardest hitters on the WTA Tour walked onto the court with a weapon that has intimidated opponents for years. By the end of the night, that weapon had been completely neutralized by a 21-year-old Filipina who refused to back down. Alex Eala didn't just win another match in Toronto. She sent a message to the entire tennis world. This wasn't luck. This wasn't an upset. This was the performance of a player who believes she belongs among the very best. And now, with every victory, the dream of capturing one of the biggest titles of her career is becoming more realistic than ever. Welcome back to the channel. If you love inspiring tennis stories and the latest WTA action, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications because Alex Eala's incredible journey is only getting started. When Alex Eala stepped onto the court at SoBi Stadium, she carried more than a tennis racket. She carried unfinished business. Earlier this season, Alycia Parks had defeated her at the Australian Open, exposing weaknesses that Eala herself admitted she needed to improve. That loss became motivation. Instead of dwelling on the disappointment, Eala went back to work. She refined her return game. She became stronger physically. She improved her shot selection. Most importantly, she developed the confidence to compete against anyone on tour. Months later, the rematch arrived. This time, the result couldn't have been more different. From the opening game, Eala looked calm, composed, and completely in control. She refused to let Parks dictate the rallies with her explosive serve. Instead, she stepped inside the baseline, attacked early, and forced the American into uncomfortable positions. It was a bold strategy, but it worked beautifully. Every successful return shifted the pressure back onto Parks. Every extended rally favored Eala's consistency. The confidence that had carried her to recent victories was once again on full display. The first set quickly became a showcase of tactical brilliance. Rather than trying to overpower one of the biggest hitters on tour, Eala relied on timing, precision, and intelligent shot placement. She absorbed the pace and redirected it with remarkable control. Whenever Parks missed her first serve, Eala immediately seized the opportunity. Her aggressive returns repeatedly forced errors, turning one of the fastest serves in women's tennis into far less of a weapon. The statistics reflected exactly what fans were witnessing. Eala consistently won the crucial points. She converted key break opportunities. She stayed composed under pressure. And perhaps most impressively, she never allowed momentum to swing back in Parks' favor. The growing Filipino crowd responded with every winner. Cheers echoed throughout the stadium as flags waved proudly in the stands. Toronto began to feel less like a neutral venue and more like a home match for the young Filipina star. Every point fueled the energy. Every game strengthened the belief that something special was unfolding. By the end of the opening set, Eala had done far more than take an early lead. She had established complete control of the match. The second set followed a similar pattern. Parks attempted to raise her level, producing several powerful service games that reminded everyone why she is considered one of the hardest hitters on the WTA Tour. But Eala never lost her focus. Her footwork remained sharp. Her movement around the court was exceptional. She defended brilliantly before turning defense into attack with remarkable efficiency. As the pressure increased, Eala's composure became her greatest weapon. She trusted her game plan. She trusted her preparation. Most importantly, she trusted herself. That confidence ultimately made all the difference. With another crucial break of serve late in the second set, victory was suddenly within reach. Moments later, Eala calmly served out the match, completing one of her most convincing performances of the tournament. The final handshake marked much more than revenge for an earlier defeat. It represented the progress of a player who continues to evolve with every tournament. The version of Alex Eala that lost earlier this year is no longer the same athlete standing on the court today. She is stronger. She is smarter. She is more experienced. And perhaps most importantly, she now carries the belief that she can compete with anyone in the world. That mindset is becoming one of her greatest strengths. Every tournament adds another layer of confidence. Every victory reinforces the idea that her rise is far from over. For tennis fans across the Philippines, this wasn't simply another win. It was another historic step in a journey that is inspiring millions of young athletes to dream bigger than ever before. And the biggest challenge may still be waiting just around the corner. Alex Eala's victory over Alycia Parks was about far more than advancing to the next round. It proved that one of the most dangerous young players on the WTA Tour is learning how to solve different challenges every time she steps onto the court. Against powerful hitters, she stays patient. Against aggressive baseliners, she absorbs pressure and waits for the perfect opportunity. Against experienced veterans, she competes with remarkable maturity. That ability to adapt has become one of the biggest reasons behind her rapid rise. But now, an even greater test could be waiting. A potential meeting with Wimbledon champion Linda Noskova would offer Eala another opportunity to measure just how far she has come. Their previous encounters have favored the Czech star, who used her powerful ground strokes and consistent serving to control key moments. Those defeats were painful. But every loss has become another lesson in Eala's development. Instead of allowing setbacks to define her, she has used them as motivation to improve. That's exactly what has made her one of the fastest rising players in women's tennis. Her confidence isn't built on promises. It's built on progress. Every tournament has added another chapter to her remarkable journey. Her movement is sharper. Her decision-making is quicker. Her mental toughness continues to impress both fans and analysts around the world. Perhaps the biggest transformation has been her belief. Earlier in her career, she often entered matches hoping she could compete with the world's best. Now, she walks onto the court expecting to compete with them. That change in mindset is impossible to ignore. The National Bank Open is one of the biggest tournaments outside the Grand Slams, and every victory carries enormous value. A deep run doesn't just bring prize money. It brings valuable ranking points. It creates momentum. It builds confidence. And most importantly, it proves that recent success is no accident. For Alex Eala, Toronto represents another opportunity to show that her breakthrough season is only the beginning. With every match she wins, expectations continue to grow. Fans across the Philippines are following every point. Social media erupts after every victory. Young tennis players now see someone who looks like them competing against, and defeating, the biggest names in the sport. That impact reaches far beyond rankings or trophies. It is inspiring an entire generation. Inside the stadium, the atmosphere has become unforgettable. Filipino flags wave proudly throughout the crowd. Every spectacular rally is greeted with thunderous applause. Every winner sparks another celebration. The support has transformed Toronto into something that feels almost like a home tournament for Eala. She has embraced every moment. She has smiled through the pressure. And she continues to play with the fearless confidence that first captured the attention of tennis fans around the world. But the journey is far from over. The competition only becomes tougher from here. Every remaining opponent possesses world-class talent. Every match demands complete focus. Every point could determine whether this unforgettable run continues. That is what separates champions from contenders. Champions find another level when the pressure rises. Alex Eala now has the opportunity to prove she belongs in that conversation. Regardless of what happens next, one thing has already become clear. The tennis world is no longer asking whether Alex Eala has potential. That question has already been answered. Now the conversation has changed. How far can she go? Can she challenge for the biggest titles? Can she become one of the next great stars of women's tennis? Based on everything she has shown this season, those possibilities no longer feel like distant dreams. They feel closer than ever. As Toronto continues, millions of fans will be watching every serve, every rally, and every point. Because history isn't always made by the biggest names. Sometimes, it belongs to the player who refuses to stop believing. And Alex Eala has shown the world that her story is only just beginning. If she continues playing with this confidence, determination, and fearless attitude, Toronto could become another defining chapter in what is already shaping up to be one of the most exciting careers in modern women's tennis. The challenge ahead is enormous. The opportunity is even bigger. And the world will be watching to see if Alex Eala can take yet another historic step toward greatness.